Hello guys, welcome back to another tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to copy files directly from your computer to your EC2 instance using the SCP command. So to start, the first thing we need to do in the management console is we need to create a security group and a key pair. So click EC2. On the left side, come down to security groups, create security group, and let's call it EC2 SG, and we'll give it a description. And we'll come down, inbound rule, let's add the rule. The first rule we want to add is SSH on port 22. And SSH, it is always best to add the rule for your IP address. So you can select this drop down and select your IP address. But for this example, we are just going to open it to the world. But for best practice, don't ever open it to the world. If you are using it for production or even testing, just always limit it to your IP address. Let's add another rule, HTTP. And again, we're just going to open that to the world. And let's add another rule, HTTPS. I always like adding these three rules for my regular default security group, and open that to the world too. And once we have those rules, come down and click create. So that's the first step. The second step is we need to create a key pair, which is what we are going to use to log our EC2 instance. So create the key pair, select key pair, and select create key pair. And let's call it EC2 key pair, or you can give it any name you want. And we want the PEM file. So I'll select the PEM, create key pair. So when you select create key pair with the PEM file, it downloads the PEM file to your downloads directory. So just right click on this and show in folder so we know where it is located. And the last thing we need to do in this console is we will launch our EC2 instance. So EC2 instance, running instance, launch EC2 instance. We just select the Linux AMI, that's fine. Everything stays default, so this is default. Keep going. So under security groups, we will select the security group we just created, which is the EC2 SG. Review, launch. Again, under the key pair, we will select the key pair we just created and check and launch. So we are launching our EC2 instance. So while that is running, the next thing we need to do is prepare the folder that contains the file we want to transfer over. So I'm going to minimize this. So this is my desktop, and this is the folder for my files for my website, right? Let's say you have the files for your website in a folder. Good. And I just have this random file. It's a text file. So these are the files we want to transfer to the EC2 instance. So what you would do is create another folder. And I'll just call this web file. So next, I will move this folder into that web file folder and this file into that web file folder. So when I look into it, I have those two folders. Good. The next thing we need to move into this folder is the PEM file we created that was downloaded to our downloads directory. So I'm going to go into my downloads directory. I'm just going to cut that from there and go back and paste it in this folder. So the folder that is containing all the files you want to transfer to your EC2 instance, make sure that your PEM file, your EC2 key pair PEM file is located in that same folder. This step is very important. Good. The next thing we need to do is From this PEM file, we need to create a PPK file because we are going to be using Putty to SSH into our EC2 instance. So we need to convert this file to a PPK file just to be able to use that PPK file to SSH into our EC2 instance. And if you haven't done SSH accessing your EC2 instance before, it is very simple. All you need to do is come to Google and type in Putty. And when you see this one that says the greenend.org.uk, if that's the one you want, select that link and click download it here. And the first part will download the entire package for you. But if you want to download the individual apps, you can just download them from here. The ones we need for this tutorial is the Putty exe, the regular Putty, and the Putty gen. So to download them, all you have to do is just the Putty gen. So let me make sure I'm there. The Putty gen. Just click whichever one you want, 32-bit or 64. Just click it. It would just download it straight to your downloads folder, and I'll click the Putty too. So the first one we are going to use is the Putty gen. So click on the Putty gen and it should open this. So it should open this, right? So the first thing we will do is we will load it with our PEM file. So remember the PEM file we put in the web file folder. And if you can see it, just browse to that folder. If you can see it, select all. You'll see that file. Select it, the EC2 Keepit. Open. Okay. And the next thing you'll do is click save as private. Save private key. Yes, we don't need a passphrase. And we will just call it the same thing. So we can call it EC2 Keepit, but make sure you delete the PEM at the end. It should be .ppk. And you can also see the .ppk here and click save. And now we can close this. So if we go back in that folder, we have the ppk file, which is what we are going to use to SSH into our EC2 instance. Good. So next, we need to open the Putty, the regular Putty. So click open, and that should look like this. So come down to SSH, auth, select the auth, browse to your file location, and select the PPK file you just created. So select that and click open. And we'll come up, and under the appearance, you don't have to do this part. I just want to increase my font. And on that session, so let's select our EC2 instance. First, let's select our EC2 instance just to get the IP address. So this is the IP address for our EC2 instance. I'm going to copy it. So it's the IPv4 public IP address, copy. Again, I will go back to my SSH. So in here, we want to type in EC2-user at and paste that public IP address, the one we just copied. Once you have everything, click open. Yes. And now we are in our EC2 instance. The things we need to do some things to just prepare our EC2 instance to transfer our files over. The first thing we can do is change to root. And I'm going to include this link in the description, not the link, but these commands in the description. And the next thing we will do is update our EC2 instance. And there's nothing to be updated, so that's fine. And the next thing we are going to do is install Apache. So press this command, which is yum install httpd-y. Good. So once you create Apache, it would also create a directory, an HTML directory. So now we are going to change our directory from home, watch from our EC2 user home to our HTML directory. So now you can see we are in the HTML directory. And the last thing we need to do is give the EC2 user write permission to be able to write files to this HTML directory. If we don't do this, when we try to transfer our files from our computer, it would say permission denied. So this step is very important as well. So to do that, we'll just use this command. And it is cho on EC2-user space dot and press enter. So now our EC2 is this directory on our EC2 instance, which is the directory where we are supposed to put the files for our website, is ready to take our files from our computer. So I'll just leave this like that. The last step of what we need to do is on your computer, open the command prompt. So you can click here and just start typing command prompt, and you should be able to find it on a Windows computer, and it looks something like this. This is the command prompt. On the command prompt, the first thing we need to do is we need to change the directory. Right now we are in the user admin directory. We need to change the directory to the directory of the folder where our files is located. To do that, I can just right click on this. Let me start from the beginning. So if I click on my web file, which is the folder for my files, if I right click up here, copy address, I can open another notepad and I'm going to paste that address in there. The only two things I need is I'll delete those ones. And I just need the desktop because that file is located on my desktop in this folder. I'll type in CD next to it. CD stands for change directory to desktop in this folder. So I'll copy that, right? And I'll paste it in here and press enter. Mind you, I pasted in my command prompt, not in my SSH form, not in my SSH, in the command prompt. So now I am in this folder in the command prompt. In this directory is where we are going to run the SCP command. Again, this is the command we are going to run. I'll open my notepad and I'll paste it here. So this is the command. We have the SCP -i, and the next thing we need is the name of our key pair. I have my key pair over here. So let me just move this side by side so we see what's going on. I have my key pair over here. So I'll copy my key pair, copy the name, and I'll paste it here. Make sure you include the extension too. My EC2 keepair.pem. The R is, you use this -r when you are trying to transfer a folder. Since we are trying to transfer this folder, we'll use the R. There, the path to the folder, which is this folder. So we'll copy this folder because we want to transfer this folder, the entire thing. I'm just going to copy that name and paste it here. But for this folder, what we are trying to do is we are trying to copy everything in this folder and we only want to copy all these files in this folder, but we don't want to copy the folder itself. So to do that, we would use this slash, and we'll also include this symbol. So you should have something like this. So this would allow you to copy everything in this folder without copying the folder itself, because we don't need to have this folder. We just need all the files in this folder in our HTML directory. The next step is to type in the profile for our EC2. So remember, it is our EC2-user at the IP address. Type in EC2-user at, again, I need my IP address. I'll copy that and I'll paste it in here. right? And the last part is we need the part where we want to paste the files. The last part is we want to paste it in. So if I go to the SSH in the var.html directory, we'll paste that in here. I will leave all this command in the description, don't worry. So we have our command is complete. Just gonna copy. I'll come back to my command prompt. So I have my command prompt here. I'll paste it there. And before I run it, I want to show you something. So I have my SSH on the right, my command prompt on the left. Watch, I'm in the HTML directory. If I type in ls to list what is in the directory, you can see there is nothing in the directory. So now watch what happens when I run this command. I'm coming back to my command prompt and I'll press enter and I'll type yes. See, it has run. So now when I come back to my SSH and type in ls, you can see all those files are located in that HTML directory. We have the CSS index, license.txt, and readme. So let me go back to my desktop and go into that velocity folder. We have the CSS, the index, JS, which is a folder. The folder is showing in green. License and readme.txt. That is how you transfer an entire directory, which is a folder, from your computer to your EC2 instance. We can also transfer single files from our computer to our EC2 instance, and the command that we are going to use that is slightly different from the one we just used. So I'll show you that too. So I'm just going to open my notepad and I'll paste this command in there. Notice this command does not have the -r in it, and this is the command we will use to transfer a single file from our computer to our EC2 instance. So again, we would change all these parameters. So let me open my folder so you see what's going on. So again, my Keepit, just going to copy that and paste it in here. Paste.pem, the path to the file, which is just this file. So I'll just copy this file name. I'll copy this file name and paste it here. So paste it here and make sure you have the extension in it. So this is going to be .txt. Right, so it's scp.txt text file, and again EC2 user, EC2 -user at, I'm going to go into the management console and copy my IP address. Again, remember we are going to be running the command from the directory of where our web files is located. So I'll paste it in here. IP address. The part where I want to paste it to is going to be the var.html. Paste it there. So our command is complete. We have our Keepit, the file we want to transfer, our EC2 at the IP address, and the directory we want to paste that file to. I'll copy this and I'll come to my command prompt, paste it there. Again, when I type in ls, you can see the files we transferred previously is the only files located in this directory. So I'll come back to my command prompt, press enter. And now when I come back to my SSH and type in ls, you can see my SCP file is located in there. So that is pretty much how you copy files from your local computer to your EC2 instance or directory. And I will include all these other commands on how to copy different type of ways you can copy files from your local computer to your EC2 instance in the description section. Thank you. If you have any comment, please leave any comment you have, a suggestion or ways to improve. Thank you, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye.